Good evening, everybody. Welcome along. This is your latest Saints news. What's going around in the Saints domain at the moment? There's loads of little bits of news. I wanted to just wrap it up and put it into one video. I'm doing daily content over on TikTok, which you can pick up, but I wanted to do something in a bit more longer format. And I'm going to do this more regularly, like I said early on in the week as well. You can have your chance to have your say at the back end of this show. I'm going to be live for around 15 to sort of 25 minutes. So I'm going to go over all the latest Saints news, a few talking points to bring to you. We're going to take a look at some statistics that I've seen today on the internet, which I wanted to bring to the show as well. And then we'll finish up with a bit of match of the day chat, because the big talking point this week, golden if you're a content creator in the middle of an international break, that there's something to create content about and talk about. And that is all around match of the day, because Gary Lineker is stepping down from match day. So I want to get your opinion on who you want to see as the new host next season on BBC's Match of the Day. But first and foremost, let's talk all things Saints. There is an update on the goalkeeping situation at Southampton. Well, I've got a little bit more information. It's not anything crazily exciting, but I've been looking into the injury that he may have picked up. We'll look at how long he could potentially be out for. But I want to kick off with Rasmus Ankersen first and foremost. He is at the transfer room. There's a big summit over in Istanbul at the moment. A few of the mainstream press there as well. David Ornstein, he writes for The Athletic, and he was the guest speaker. I believe it was yesterday or the day before Rasmus Ankersen. So obviously there's a few bits that Ornstein's been tweeting and putting in some of his press that he's been doing. And he's basically gone on to say that he doesn't think there's any imminent danger of Russell Martin being removed from his position. And that's because he feels that he's highly thought of. So what Rasmus Ankersen is saying to him, he is highly thought of, Russell Martin, at the football club, and rightly so. Going on about Martin a bit more in another tweet that I've read from another article, this one. The view of him is high, not only inside Southampton and the ownership at Southampton, but on the outside as well. There is a feeling that perhaps the players have not been good enough. They're going to need to do something about it in January. Obviously, if that is the case, they're going to need to do something in the January transfer window, says David Ornstein. So from what is coming out of that transfer room summit, where loads of the agents, loads of the clubs from world football all meet, they do it a couple of times a year. I think it's one big one a year. And it's basically where deals are done to sign players. Southampton actually signed Charlie Alcaraz via the transfer room. I don't know how many other players they brought through it, but Rasmus Ankersen was one of the guest speakers there. I believe it was the day before yesterday. So interesting. I'll get your thoughts on it as well. But it looks like he's the main man at Southampton. He's the man that heads up Sport Republic. And that is what has been said. Here is a little bit more of some of the tweets. This is from Just Saints. They tweeted it yesterday. What I've just said, really. He was with Ornstein. They spoke about recruiting the best on and off the pitch talent, which I find quite interesting. I'm not sure Southampton's recruitment has been that good. Be good to get your thoughts on that at the back end of the show as well. Have Southampton's recruitment this summer been as good as you wanted it to be? A little bit more about the transfer room. This is the transfer room. It's well worth a follow over on X if you haven't done it already. Like I said, it was a summit, and yeah, he was a big part of speaking there. He does a lot of speeches, does Rasmus Ankersen, but it does look like he is backing Russell Martin. It went on to say in this tweet here, oversaw 2 promotions in the 23-24 season for Southampton to the Premier League and for Kasımpaşa to the Turkish Super League. Interesting. Hopefully Ornstein will do another article or some articles on that in the coming day, because I will be interested to read a little bit more into that. But it does look like Russell Martin is being backed at this moment in time. And I think if anything was going to happen, we would have seen it happen by now. If he was going to be removed of his job, I think we would have seen it. So it looks like they are going to stick with the manager. There's a tough run of fixtures, as we know, on the other side of the international break. A nice weekend off. Southampton can't ruin our weekend this weekend. Thank God for that. I am actually looking forward to a weekend with no Saints this weekend, just to have a respite. And the heartache it gives you travelling around watching these games, doesn't it? It's mind blowing what it does to you. Right, Russell Martin and Swansea. This is in another bit of news. They've settled their legal dispute. This was last week. TalkSport reported it a couple of days ago, so I did a bit of research into it. This dispute's now settled between the Swansea ex-manager and club. It was all around Swansea felt that Southampton tapped up their manager, and they took them to High Court, and it's been settled by both parties. Now they were talking about multi-millions of pounds that they were trying to get compensated for Swansea, but it has been settled, that dispute now, which is interesting to see. It's rumbled on for quite a while, but it went to the High Court, which is quite incredible. Thank you all for tuning in. Keep your comments coming, because at the back end of this show, I'm going to read them out and I'll get involved and I'll interact with every single one of you. So every comment that goes in, if you're watching live, put them in the comments box and I will I'll get involved and I'll answer anything you want me to answer this evening. I have no problem in doing that whatsoever. Right, call-ups, international late call-ups, this one, because I don't know if you saw it. Ryan Manning, he's been called up to the Irish squad. That was a late call-up there. Everybody's got pull-outs, haven't they? There's people pulling out left, right and centre of this international break for their national sides. He's one man that has been called up, though. I actually think he's coming in and done quite well for Southampton. I give him a half decent ratings in my ratings videos on TikTok. I've been given some right stick for it, saying I'm overrating, but he's actually been quite good. I think he's played well coming back in. We missed him when he went off at the weekend. So yeah, he has got called up. I'm really pleased for him that he has got called up. And one man that did get called up for his national side was Taylor Harwood-Bellis. He got called up for England. He did the press conference yesterday. I don't know if any of you have seen it. I didn't realise we found something out that was that I didn't know. This is new news. This is new news that he's dating Roy Keane's daughter. He's going to marry her. So he sees Roy Keane quite a lot. So quite interesting that that was the case. I didn't know it. I didn't know that at all. So congratulations to him on his up and coming wedding, whenever that will be. I'm sure it'll be a bumper too. But yeah, dating about to marry Roy Keane's daughter. Wonder if he tells him to do his job. That's what he likes to say on Sky Sports. Do your job. Right. What else do we have? Aaron Ramsdale. That was the other story I wanted to bring to you, because obviously I work in the goalkeeping domain. So I know a little bit. Obviously, I know a few goalkeepers. Work for one. So Aaron Ramsdale pulled out the England squad on the Monday because the club haven't said what he's done. They've just said he's pulled out due to injury. Dan Sheldon from one of the Press Association, I think he's with The Athletic, said that he had fractured a finger and was due to undergo an operation, which hasn't been confirmed by anyone. So we don't know that. He said that, but it's not been backed up anywhere at all. But even if he has fractured a finger, goalkeeping products, gloves specifically, can be made to deal with fractured fingers. Loads of goalkeepers play with finger injuries. Some dislocate fingers, have it put back and have them taped together, have a glove made that have the two fingers put together, depending on what finger it is, and you could potentially play on with that injury. So it's not like a dead set. Yeah, you're seeing all these reports out there that he's going to be out for 6 weeks. He's going to be out. He's going to miss the next month. All these make-up stories when no one's confirmed what the injury is. But even if it is a fractured finger, it isn't the end of the world. I know goalkeepers that have played with fractures and issues with fingers. And like I say, if his glove brand make him gloves where he could tape the two fingers together, a lot of goalkeepers will do that. Ben Foster played a long period of time when he was at West Bromwich Albion with two fingers put together, because I remember putting the name on his gloves for the brand that the gloves were from, because gloves always have ID on the goalkeepers' names. And I did that in a business I was working in, and Ben Foster would often wear taped up fingers and joined up the joined up fingers. So it can be done. There are actually goalkeepers out there that wear finger spines in the back of their gloves. Tom Heaton's one of them as well. So look, there are ways around it, but until we get confirmation from the club, it's just speculation at this moment in time. So I wouldn't believe everything you read. But you can believe this one, because Gavin Bazunu, he got injured at the back end of the season. That rearranged Preston fixture at St Mary's. Remember the fire? that called off the game against Preston. That got moved in it to the back end of the season when Southampton had that stack up of fixtures. He got injured in the warm-up. He had a nasty injury with his Achilles tendon. Did Gavin Bazunu. Well, he is ahead of schedule and he is nearing a return to training and action, which is great news for him to know that he's ahead of schedule. He's a young man, so he's healed quickly. I've seen him a few times around the stadium, actually, and I've always asked him how he's doing. And he said he was doing well. I'm pleased for him that he's on a return. But Southampton still wouldn't be able to use him even if he was fit. Say he was remarkably fit next week or the week after. They cannot play him in the Premier League until at least January at the earliest because he wasn't registered in the 25-man squad. But Russell Martin did talk about Bazunu in his press conference. I think it was after the pre-Everton press conference. At the back end of the press conference, one of the Solent guys asked him. It might have been one of the Echo guys. It was one of the local guys that had asked him about Bazunu. And he said that he thought that he was so desperate to play football and he needed to play football once he's back from this injury. He had so long out that they were prepared to loan him out, and they'd look after him and find the best option for him. But he's worked really hard to get fit, Gavin Bazunu. So fair play to him. But he's back pretty much ready to train by the sounds of things. We might get some glimpses of him in training, I would imagine, in the next week or so. But great news that he's back. But if not, if he is out, Ramsdale, I'm sure Alex McCarthy are coming. He did well, McCarthy, in those games. You know, no matter what anyone says, he done well in the playoffs. I know he's not great with his feet, but it's not like we got the worst backup goalkeeper in the world. Get involved in the comments box. I'll read them out at the back end of the show. But give me your thoughts on McCarthy coming in. I'm not massively. Look, Ramsdale's brilliant. He's been our best goalkeeper. We all know that. It looks like he got injured against Wolves, by the way. It wasn't in England training. But it is a nightmare that he's injured because he has been brilliant. But hopefully they can work around it. And there's the other thing is, we can speculate. The England squad, there's loads of players pulling out for loads of reasons. There's loads of people pulling out. It's one of those camps. There's just too many games of football, in my opinion. I don't know what you guys think of that, but there is just way too many games of football, and everybody's just burnt out and knackered. So that man on your screen, Gavin Bazunu, is nearing a return to action. So if he's tuning in, Gavin, really pleased for you, and good luck in your on-field, on-pitch training, because that's the next step for him. Right. I wanted to bring you this as well. There's a table that I saw put out on social media today. You may have seen it, you may not have seen it, but it was the Premier League table. It was tweeted by the Premier League for the home form and the away form. So you can see Southampton have the worst away form in the Premier League. 6 games, 0 points, conceded a whopping 10 goals. The home form is the third worst at this moment in time, 4 points from 5 games at home. Ipswich have the worst at the moment. They've played the same amount and only have 3 points, only a point less than Southampton. Wolves have played a game more at home than the rest of us, and they have the same points as Southampton, with 3 of those coming against us at the weekend. But look at Brentford in that home form guide, top of that league. How good have they been this season? And how much I would love to see Southampton play a little bit like Thomas Frank's Brentford. I really like the way they play football. And look at who's top of that away league. Liverpool, the team we play at home next. Their next away game is at St Mary's, and they've picked up 13 points on the road already. Nottingham Forest, who were really good at St Mary's, they're second. They were brilliant. Chelsea in third. That's our home game after Liverpool. And we also head to Brighton away, and they have the 5th best home form, but they've picked up 12 points from 6 games, which is really, really good. But it's good to look at our relegation rivals. You're looking at Wolves. Their form hasn't been good at home. Ipswich haven't been great at home. Everton, pretty average so far. Leicester, not brilliant. But it's really interesting to see the home and the away form. Saints just need to sort that away form out and that home form, probably, to be honest. But I thought you'd quite like to see that on the show. I thought it was quite a nice. I thought it was quite nice to bring it here to the show. I thought it was an interesting table to look at. that pops up this morning. Right, I'll go over your all your comments now on the live, and I will answer anything that's on there. We are 15 minutes into the show, so then the last sort of 10 minutes or so now. So get involved if you're watching live. If you're watching on catch up, which you may do, just chuck comments on and I will come back and reply to everything. I reply to everything that I see. Ben, thank you for joining. Ben said good evening. Thank you for joining, Ben. Really appreciate you tuning in tonight. Very kind of you, mate. You're always on, so thank you very, very much indeed. Right, I'm going to remove that and then just put your comments on there because it's a bit cleaner to put the comments on the screen. Right, that's a nice comment. Quality channel, Martin. I like Russell Martin, but he remains as a manager. We're getting relegated. I think a lot of fans think that if we don't change the way we play, come up with a different style. I agree with you. I do agree with you. I think there needs to be a change, whether that's in the way we play football or the manager. I want the manager to succeed, like a friend of mine that's tuned in tonight, Adam. Thank you for joining, mate. I'm good. Adam's always backed me up with this. He's spot on as well. And I just think he needs to find a way to transition back to front. And I've said it on pretty much every live I've been on. Mike Byers, thank you for joining. He says that Rasmus is one of the main problems. I was talking about Rasmus Ankersen. And a lot of you might be questioning, who is Rasmus Ankersen? For some of those younger fans tuning in, well, he is one of the main men at Sport Republic who own Southampton Football Club. And they are backed by Dragon Solak. Dragon Solak invests into Rasmus Ankersen's company, Sport Republic, and Southampton Football Club is one of a couple of football clubs that they own. And he is a big decision maker at Southampton. He's from Brentford originally, but he is not that well liked in the Southampton fan base. I just think because he's the head of Sport Republic, a bit more of a face of it, he takes a bit more of a hit than everyone else. I've met him once and actually I thought he came across as a really decent bloke. He was really nice when I met him, quite honest, prepared to answer anything you asked him as well. So actually, when you meet him in person, he's actually really decent. Look, he's made a lot of decisions that may be questionable. One of those being Nathan Jones as manager, but he has it's not just him. There's a board of directors around him, so it's not like he is the single person making the decisions. It's more than just him. I'm not defending everything that's happened, but he's one of the big decision makers. Right. Right. What else do we have on here? Let's pull out some more of your bits and bobs. Any news on Russell Martin? Is he getting sacked? No, I said that at the top of the show. There is a summit this week for football club owners, agents of football players, and they all come together and they do transfers and it's just basically a bit like a big LinkedIn for football clubs, agents and players to basically get moves to try and progress their career. And there's a big summit in Istanbul at the moment. Rasmus Ankersen was a speaker there with David Ornstein, who works at The Athletic. And Ornstein has leaked a few bits and a few of the articles that he's done that he doesn't feel, and he's been around Ankersen, that Russell Martin's job is going to be under any serious pressure at this moment in time. He doesn't feel. I'll get the tweet back that I read earlier. He said, I don't know on him being in any immediate danger of being removed from his position. And he said that is because he is very highly thought of at Southampton. This is Ornstein talking about Russell Martin because he'd been speaking to Rasmus Ankersen. He said the view of him is high, not only inside Southampton and the ownership, but on the outside as well. So basically, there are loads of clubs that really like Russell Martin, one of those being Man City as well. He is well liked by loads of clubs. He won't be short of a job if Southampton do fire him at any stage. Any stage. What else do we have on here? So that's covering that one there about Russell Martin. So I've covered that one for you. I'm not going to go over it again. Wow, look at Brentford in that table. Yeah, that table. Matthew, it's quite unbelievable, that table. I'll pop it on the screen again, actually, for anybody that's just tuning in. Matthew's referring to the table that I showed in the show a little while ago. The home form and the away form of Premier League teams right now. It makes really, really interesting reading. You can see the form of the teams at home, but Brentford, like Matthew said, in unbelievable form at home. I would love to see us take their approach in the way they play football. I've really enjoyed watching Brentford, and they took Saints to bits in that second half when we went there. But actually, it was the end of the first half and the start of the second half when we went to the GTEC Stadium. They were really, really good, Brentford. very good side, some good form at this moment in time. Someone said, get Ruud van Nistelrooy. Oh, I don't agree with that. I'll be totally honest with you. I'm not sure on Ruud van Nistelrooy. No experience of relegation scraps, no experience of maybe dealing with a smaller club. I think if you're going to change manager, bring someone in loads better than what you've got. That's got pedigree, that's got Premier League experience, that knows how to deal with relegation scraps, because that's what we're in. Let's be quite honest about it. I'm definitely not with that one at all. Southampton are projected to finish the season with around 15 points, less than half of what we need to stay up. I know, Daz, it's scary, and that is working off the 11 games that we played. It is, it's so upsetting and it's infuriating. It really is infuriating. They will spend in January. There's no doubt about it that they're going to spend in January. But tell me in the comments box, is January too late? Because for me, transfer business in January will be too late, because you needed to get it right in the summer. Get the bodies out the door you need to get out the door. I know we were trying to get high price tags and not get done over on a few deals, or say something else then, but you know, they were trying to get max money for Walker Peters, didn't do it. Probably going to get less for him now because he's in the final year of his contract. We're trying to get money for Armel Bella-Kotchap, couldn't get it. It has been a little bit of a disaster. These transfer windows under Sport Republic, they haven't done great with some of their transfer windows. But yeah, they're going to have to get some bodies out the door. That's for sure. And that will be the hardest thing, is getting rid of people. And it's not easy to get people out the door sometimes. Right. What else do we have in the comments chat below? Before we go, let's grab a few more bits off you. This is a good one, actually. Really good one. What do we need to do to turn things around? Well, we need to find a way to start scoring goals, because we're not scoring enough goals. We're probably defensively a little bit better. Still not amazing, but a little bit better defensively. When you look at Everton, Man City, Wolves, 2 goals against Wolves are still just so infuriating. But yeah, playing through the lines quicker, finding someone in the midfield that's going to get on a half turn and open sides up, getting the ball higher up the field. There's so much that needs to be right, but I don't see it changing. I just don't see it changing anytime soon. You know, you wait to January to bring players in, and the time you're trying to integrate them, January signings are usually really hard to get right. When was the last time we had a January signing that made a real freaking impact? Charlie Alcaraz a couple of years ago wasn't bad. Wasn't a standout January signing, though, was he? But he was not bad. Silimana, disaster. Onuachu, disaster. The biggest disaster out of all of them, Mislav Orsic in a Sport Republic transfer window. What an absolute shocker. So think back, guys. My mind's got a bit of a blank. But who was the best January signing that we've made in recent years? Be interesting to see if anybody's got any thoughts on that. What else do we have here? Random signings we didn't. Random signings we didn't have used. Yeah. Ben Brereton Diaz being one of those. It's just not worked, is it? Maxwell Cornet. We've brought in Nathan Wood. Did we need another defender? Another squad filler? I know about the weird one for me, Charlie Taylor, the left back. I thought he was a half decent signing at the time. Solid left back. Good cover for Manning. We've not seen anything of him, which is really, really weird. I don't get that one at all. Really, really weird. Young centre-back, Edwards, he's for the future, but I thought we would have loaned him out, keep him playing football. Just playing under 21 football. Should be better playing League One or Championship. He's more than, should be Championship quality. If he's going to play in if we get relegated and he could end up playing for Saints in the Championship next season, they need to loan him out in January to a Championship club. Start getting the boys some game time at Championship level. The buy low, sell high method doesn't work in the Prem anymore. No, I totally agree. It doesn't work. This isn't 2015 anymore. You've got to spend money, and Southampton won't do that. They will spend money, but they spend it across too many players. So it's like squad fillers. Instead of like buying a Ramsdale, brilliant. Now go and get a top strike. I think you got Archer in, but even Archer, it's not spent a lot of money on him. It's like 15 million for a 22-year-old striker. It's not bad, is it? But get Archer, but go in, spend the rest of the money. Instead of getting Brereton Diaz, use the money that they've got for him and maybe the wages from Maxwell Cornet. and maybe Nathan Wood, these people, and put it into like a really good proven striker or someone that's going to score some goals. That's what I would have liked to see. St. Andy's back as well. He's a legend that comes on. I think unless we spend 40 million plus, we won't improve the squad. Lots of 5 to 8 million signings is not improving us. Yeah, I totally agree. It's pointless to keep spending people for 7, 8 million when you're in the Premier League. Maybe if you're in the Championship, unless they're building for the Championship. What is the plan? What is the plan? Because you're not going to sell like any. The only one that's worth mega value right now is Tyler Dibbling, and he's come through the academy. But he will be the one sought after in the window. There's no doubt about it. I agree with this. We're getting 3 players in and loaning and selling 3 players. Yeah, I think apparently there's 3 players lined up. He wants 3 more players, Russell Martin. You know what they are. That will be a striker. It will be a left winger because we don't have one. And we've not had one for ages. They brought Cornet in thinking he might be any good, but he's been crap. And then another midfielder to back Shay Charles up because you brought Ugachukwu on. And Ugachukwu in, and he's not actually been any better than Shay Charles. And we've loaned Charles to Sheffield Wednesday. Talking about Sheffield Wednesday, I heard today, and I don't know if it's true, Danny Rowell could be getting the sack there. I don't know if there's any truth in that. I don't know if there's any Wednesday fans that are watching live or in catch-up. Let me know. I've not heard this. My dad said this to me on the phone. I was like, I'm going mad. I thought he was doing really well. He said, no, something to do with the ownership. Do you know how much the Bournemouth striker is? Yeah, it was big money. It was 40 million. Evan Nilsson, wasn't he? It was like 40 million striker. Mega money. Evan Nilsson. Bournemouth are doing well as a club. You've got to say, Bournemouth as a football club have done some good transfer business. They're in a different stratosphere to us at this moment in time. I just want to take the time while I'm here to ask you to just subscribe to my channel. If you're not, scan that on the right-hand side of your screen. There's a little scan that you can use your phone. You can scan that little QR code. It'll take you through to my page. Just subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. Every subscriber means the world to me. If you've got a friend that's a Southampton fan or just a football fan, please share my content with your friends, your family. I'm trying to get to 2,000 subscribers. I know that's not many, but I want to get to 2,000. It's a new channel. I'm building it rapidly, quick. My TikTok I've been doing longer. I'm headed towards 10,000 there. And I've just seen today that the BBC are going to do their content creators. There's a content creators. They're doing something that you can go and get involved in, something where you can get loads of help and you can go into some sort of reality show. So I'm actually going to enter that because 15 people send it to me today. So I'm going to enter that because I think it looks really good. Paul, yeah, I did see about the Peterborough winger. I'll find some more out about that and I'll bring it to you on the channel over the weekend. Talking about the weekend on the channel, I'm launching a video either Sunday or Monday, and it's an exciting one. I'm not going to give it away. You need to subscribe to the channel, then you'll be first to know when it's out. But there's a really cool Saints video that I've been working on for about a week now. I don't want to give anything away because I don't want anyone to copy it. I want to be the first to do it, and I don't think anyone will do it before me. So I'm nearly there, but I'm going to launch it over the weekend. So stay tuned. Stay tuned. Right, we're at the back end of the show. The last question I've got for you. I've been doing this on TikTok because I thought it was an interesting one. Match of the day, Gary Lineker is stepping down from match of the day at the end of the season. The legend that is Gary Lineker. Loved by some, hated by others. I like him, I think. As a sports presenter, I really like him. I look up to loads of sports presenters. One of those is Mark Chapman. I've met Mark and I look up to him massively. His name is in the frame. So if you're tuning in live, drop in the comments box below. Who would you like to see take over the role as the host of Match of the Day? I would love to get your opinions on it. Who gets it? And I'll pop up a few of these on the screen now. Alex Scott is one of the names in the frame. I actually think she's really improved as a presenter. I really like her. I think she's good, really knowledgeable. She presents really well. And that presenting role in Match of the Day, all you need to do is put your questions to Shearer if he's in. If it's Walcott that's in, Walcott's a name that's actually been thrown in to be the presenter. But yeah, there's loads of great people that could do Match of the Day. Me, oh man, that's what you aspire to do. Never ever do it, but it's like I inspire just to go on a radio show or to do some bits on Sky Sports, to go to a press conference or do the post-match bits. I love to just do the basic stuff, or be that guy that's up in the stands on Soccer Saturday and you're just doing you're reporting on the game, you're going through the goal scores. I think it'd be quite hard to do, but I'd actually love to go and do a little bit of radio work first, then maybe a bit of TV. It'd be pretty cool. But Alex Scott is a good shout. I do like Alex Scott. Loads of people love her, some hate her. But yeah, get involved in the comments box if you're tuning in on Catch Up. Love to get your thoughts on it. But for me, I think if Mark Chapman's doing Match of the Day too, surely the next progression is to do Match of the Day, and then you bring in like his predecessor to do Match of the Day too, maybe. I might be wrong. I may be wrong. Potter, we love Potter. He can analyse Saints no problem. And Tal Russell, Graham Potter, I really like. What a great guy, by the way. He'd be a great guy to interview and sit down with, wouldn't he? I loved him on Monday night, actually, the other week. I don't know if any of you saw Graham Potter on Monday night. I thought he was really, really good. So knowledgeable of the game. Quite like the way he plays football as well. So, yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's in the frame for it. Kelly Cates, she was in it from Sky Sports. She was another name being linked with it. But I've got a TikTok video going. So if you want to head over to TikTok, you can get involved in that. There's loads of interaction on there. Loads and loads of interaction. Right, I think I've covered everything in the comments chat for the show today. This was Saints News on the Football Marketing channel. Something I'm going to be doing more regularly. To subscribe, and then you'll be notified of when I go live. And if you follow all my platforms across social media, I've got Facebook now. Instagram have been on there for a fair while. Instagram's at football.martin_. Obviously, TikTok's the same handle as YouTube. I advertise when I'm going live all over my platform, so you'll be able to see when I'm live and what I'm doing. Right, thank you for tuning in this evening. I hope you've enjoyed the show. I'll be back again, like I say, over the weekend with a really good video. Stay tuned for that. Have a good night, and I will see you again very, very soon.